I'm bringing another edition of Pioneer Curious, where I'm seeing how Pioneer feels after taking some time off. I like this hand. A little bit awkward that the Raucous Theater comes in untapped. So what we can do is play Theater into Scry, into Impact Tremors, into Zulaport Cutthroat, and Hunted Witness, I suppose. See what we see on top. Our opponent's probably thinking, it's just another Rakdos deck. Cool Celebrant. Keep it on top. I mean, we want more of those. The more, the better. We don't have a sack outlet, which is what we really want. So maybe it's worth putting on the bottom. But I don't. It's hard putting something like one of our best cards on the bottom. We have some turns with impact. We have the synergies of Impact Tremors and Obnixilis and the Drain. Hopefully it's not another control deck. We just kind of got our clocks cleaned by blue-white control deck, main decking a lot of exile effects for their um, Impact Tremors is a big payoff. I wonder if they have a counter spell for it. We should just run out a creature instead. We might be risking a lot here. They had main deck exile sweepers, so that was really hard to come back from. And then we didn't draw particularly well. Oh, I forgot to add a land. I tweak the sideboard. I meant to add a 20-second land because we kept missing our fourth land drop, if not our third. We up against Merfolk. That's what it's looking like. Thing in the ice. All right. Okay, Fabled Passage. So we're gonna get to our lands. That makes me happy. We still need an exile effect. Sorry, we need a sacrifice effect, not an exile effect. So let the pinging begin. This Obnixilis, I just, like, it's possible that it just dies to whatever 3-mana kill spell they can string together, but so I'm thinking, is it worth trying to get to the 5th mana and running out Obnixilis into the Hunted Witness? But I think it doesn't really matter. I think no matter what, they could respawn and kill it, but we'll see. Alright, so this looks like either mono blue thing in the ice type of deck, or it's is it missing red, looking to get a bunch of Archetype Phoenixes back from the graveyard. Thing about Thing of the Ice that's bad for us is it just returns our creatures to our hand. It doesn't actually put them in the graveyard, so if we don't get any death triggers and we don't get our rally the ancestors shenanigans. Sphinx's tutelage. Ooh, that's exciting. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. That is okay with us if we can find a rally. It depends on what we draw. We may hold off on the Obnixilis depending on what we draw, but okay. It's going to be awkward because we're going to play the Obnixilis and get some triggers, which is cool, but we're not going to be able to do anything with what we find. We can't even play a land because we'll have played a land for the turn. But I just put an Obnixilis in the deck, and this is the first time I'm seeing him in action. So I want to see the synergy here. He's going to enter, ping, trigger, attack. We get another trigger. He'll be a 6/5. Should put him out of range of. It's a mono blue deck, but they're probably playing things like exile effects that make them into frogs or something like that. So it won't matter his power and toughness in that regard, unless they're still playing Izzet and they just haven't found a mountain or they don't need it, so they're sandbagging it. That would have been nice. Man, that's the lag. It's probably on me. I don't know. Internet's slower in this part of the house, even though it's not supposed to be. So the Fable would have been nice to see, and not um, and hopefully we don't hit something like okay, land. Can't play the land. Can't play the Fable. All right, what can our opponent get up to? They're gonna. This could be a big turn for them. I don't know the combo that they're trying to assemble, if there is one, but they're gonna mill us. We draw a Rally of the Ranks and a Sacrifice Outlet. That'd be pretty good. We have we're gonna get at least one trigger off of this Zulaport Cutthroat, assuming our opponent doesn't have counter magic, which in a mono blue deck you would think they have counter magic. But maybe there's some sort of combo for a mill. All right, well we didn't want to see either of those cards. We really want to see a Cartel Aristocrat or a Butcher of the Horde. Ooh, another one. How exciting. Alright, so this is where our deck should shine. Man, we were just desperate for a Sacrifice Outlet. We can play the Fable Passage to get the second black if we want. It seems like our opponent is not playing a lot of interaction, which means we should be able to get a board state up that can close out the game if we can find the right combo. So we really want to see like Cartel Aristocrat off the top here, or a land is fine, or another Zulaport Cutthroat. Why not? All the Zulaport Cutthroats. So our opponent, and we don't even play any basic mountains. Oh wait, thank God. I was like, surely I didn't do that. Get another trigger. So our opponent hopefully can't just untap and bounce everything. But even if they do, it's not the worst thing in the world. Because we're going to get a big old hit, another Fable. Man, we're good at hitting Fables off of that. We're going to get a big hit in that could just be that the Impact Tremors will get us there after recasting our hand. Or close enough. So we're going to hit him for 9, put him to 5. Man, we really just a sack outlet. If that had been, if instead of the Zulaport Cutthroat, we had seen a Cartel Aristocrat, this game would be over. All right, what can our opponent get up to now? They're gonna mill us for a bunch, it looks like, but thankfully we don't. Well, we do play a bunch of double color cards. I don't think they can mill us out by any stretch. We have too many lands in the deck, but. Alright, so we were. Yeah, they're going to do it again. There's the rally. That's what we wanted. See what they can. Frantic Inventory, draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards, name Frantic Inventory. Okay, so that's fine. It looks like they're just digging for lands right now, and are going to scoop it up probably. I don't think they can come back from here, but I could be wrong. Okay, smell us some more. Hold on a second. Okay, well, we actually did get the Sacrifice Outlet, so that would have been nice. Okay, so that was my oldest son complaining that the thing he bought for his Minecraft game is taking too long to download. What does mono blue have to fight what we're doing? Impact Tremors looked good that game again. Fatal Pushes could be good. We don't want to necessarily overboard. But they know what's happening now, so they're going to have some preparation for it, I imagine. What do we take out, though? Just maybe trim? Fatal Push is going to look real bad, though, if we end up with just... If they don't have things for us to target. They're look like mono blue decks, so we are really only trying to hit that thing in the ice, and even then, it's not like it's that big of a threat. That could be a mistake. Sweet zero lander. And I don't know why, when you buy something for Minecraft, it takes so long for it to appear in your game. If anyone knows, you can tell me. But yeah, we weeded the garden this morning for 2 hours. And he earned some money and bought... gosh, okay, well... We already know we need to add another car. Man, okay, well, we're down to... We have double... Alright, so I guess we're going to put one Fatal Push to the bottom. And... And then we're going to... Hopefully this Thoughtseize will get something good. Mold of 5, brutal. Oh, they are playing a different color. Sneaky, sneaky opponent. Playing green. Alright, so they're definitely a combo deck looking to do busted things. With just maybe an awkward draw last game, or they have some sort of weird sideboard plan where they bring in a breeding pool and ways to find it, I don't know. To fight against graveyard shenanigans. Little does our opponent know we have nothing going on. They just had an awkward draw. Alright, so this is where the deck... I mean, a mold of 5 for any deck's rough. But when you're a combo deck with a bunch of like dirtling dorks, you really need, man, just land. You need a like mass sum of parts for it to really go off, and when you're down to 5 cards to begin with, it's just... Alright, so they're combat. Prevent combat. We don't even care about combat. We can win without combat. I mean, we like to. I mean, hitting your opponent for some is good. Man, just... This is magic for you folks, especially playing a deck with very little deck manipulation. You just end up with... Sometimes you just draw a lot of lands. Sometimes you go 6 turns without drawing another land. We've seen that tonight in our matches. Alright, so they are a extra turns deck, I assume, where they're looking to set up, mill you out by taking a bunch of extra turns. They were really hoping to get that Jace, I imagine. Have to consider. Ah, good lord, folks. How many lands can you draw? Just tell me. How many? The magic shuffler, man. So opponent will consider. See what they find off the top. We would love just to see a thing in the ice so we can fatal push it. We don't want to see them get like a planeswalker or any of their pieces in place that let them go off with extra turns and gain a bunch of different, just a whole snowball effective advantage. It's been fun though. I mean, this deck, I've enjoyed playing it. Oh, they did draw something, it looks like. That was not what we wanted to see. Um, I've enjoyed playing it again. It's had its moments. It's also had its moments of just flopping, flooding. I mean, this is incredible. Like, what are you supposed to do with this kind of draw? So we've drawn all lands this game, every turn. So that's 4 lands in a row. We surveilled a land. So there was, after our mull to 5, there was 5 lands on top of our deck. What are they going to mill us? And we're in danger of them milling our only basics, so we probably should run out this Fable Passage. I was trying to save it for Hunted Witness. Not the best top deck, but really that's where our top decks are so bad when we get to this point. We would really like a Fable is great. A draw a card, then discard a card whenever you draw a card. Is that just that's Teferi's Tutelage? Okay, so we have a Sphinx's Tutelage and a Teferi's Tutelage. That's fun. Our top decks are so unimpressive when we don't have any. We had a Fatal Push and a Thoughtseize from our sideboard. Thoughtseize is fine. Fatal Push is looking bad. I was always worried it might. And we really need a cumulative. Did they just mill themselves? Oh, they have to discard a card. So they even discarded the thing in the ice. So that's how they must know we have. Look at that Fatal Push rally. So rally, I mean, we don't want the Fatal Push for sure, but the rally would have been nice. What else did we get? Another rally. So fill our graveyard is fine, especially if we can get the rally. I mean, if we can draw a rally, we're going to be in good shape to combo off. But we just, yeah, you see what's happening. So not much we can do about it. We'll probably draw a land. Alright, Cartel Aristocrat. That's good. That is definitely a combo piece. So that's one of our pieces. Now we just really want to find the rally. They find a counterspell. We're going to go ahead and get our mountain so that we don't have nothing to fetch up with this Fable Passage. Or we could get a plane, so we play 2 planes. Who knows? Maybe there's some land destruction shenanigans too on the top of what our opponent's trying to do. Alright, we're going to attack with the Cruel Celebrant. I mean, we're one top deck away, either like a big beater to help to start drawing out these fogs, or a rally to get all of our creatures back to sack for value. Even then, we're not that far. We're not that close. I mean, we can have a big turn, but then we'll need to do it again. So I think we're just in the hopefully they don't mill us out stage, and hopefully we draw some good cards dirtling stage. And the Fatal Push is, like keeps us from F6ing, because what if they cast a thing in the ice and then have enough cards to flip it and we've F6'd, and then we'll be very sad. We'll just always yield. Always yield. Well, double Thoughtseize Fable would have been nice. Cruel Celebrant, also nice. So we're just hoping to draw into a rally, a Fable. Obnixilis would be really good. Maybe we should bring, I don't know. Anyway, Thoughtseizes don't seem bad in this matchup. Fatal Pushes are seeming real bad, though. It's not, they have ways to flip it, but it's a slow flip. I mean, again, we're on a mull of 5. Can't forget that. Extra turn? Nope. Not yet. I think we need to hold on to something to discard to this Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Treasure Cruise. I didn't realize Treasure Cruise was still legal in this format. Bunch of mill. I love it. I love mill. I mean, mill makes me happy. Anytime you can win via mill, I'm not going to complain. I played mill in modern for a while before things like, man, we would be so good. A rally off the top would just, now we're down to one rally. That's sad. Man, do we get lucky and draw a rally? Rally off the top and we are in business. When you get milled that many times, you're like all bets are off on as far as like, oh, I drew 5 lands in a row. Well, who knows? They milled hot fire in a row for a while there with a few lands interspersed. So I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But um, rally would make me very happy. That would just be quite a epic comeback. That was the moment to draw it too, because chances are they're gonna mill their fourth one, or they'll have some sort of counter spell. Look how many cards they have. Like they must play some counter magic, and there's our last rally. Sad, sad, sad. Alright, see what our opponent's doing. We'll probably scoop. I mean, there's only so much we can do. They have 2 fogs in hand. We're at 31 cards in a graveyard, 19. I mean, we're going to be pretty close to being milled out quickly here. And it's been such a painful way to go out. But I mean, not because of mill, but just because of our draws, hitting land, 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 land. Grim Initiate. Alright, well, I mean, look. We're cobbling it together here, folks. Gonna get him down to 12. We have 3 points of sack damage if we wanted it. Puts him down to 9. If I was them, I would just cast one of these fogs. Why not? I like how this has first strike. Just a common. 1 mana first strike. That was unheard of way back when. And it does something when it dies. I mean, draw a card, yep, and then so they're gonna mill us some more. Alright, what did we lose? Down to 6 cards, pretty much everything. Butcher the Horde. Oh, we have 3 butchers. And then they're gonna mill us out totally, I think. See where we're at. Probably put us to drawing 1 card. Then they have the Haze of Fallen, so I'm pretty sure we're dead. Alright, well, we're going to draw our last card. What is it? Is it a land? Just for the rub-ins? It's a Grim Initiate. Alright, how can we hurt our opponent? Can we kill them? They have enough to stop combat damage. Let's see how much damage we can get in. I don't think we can kill them. If we had two, if they haze a pollen or whatever, we're definitely not going to get there. But if we had two effects, if we had two Blood Artist effects, we might be able to get to it. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Sure, they have an extra one. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hit him to 7. That would have put him 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost dead. So yeah, that fog, I mean the extra, if they hadn't fogged, things would have been different here. So yeah, we would have hit 2, 4, or sorry, 2, 4, then we could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, well that's fine. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. It's likely that I'm doing my math wrong. I don't have any more cards to draw. Alright, what should we do? I kind of just want to take out the Fatal Pushes. I mean, they still have... they still have the thing in the ice, but I think we're going to need to go up. I'm going to bring in Tidball too, just for fun. It's either that or Impact Tremors. Impact Tremors lets us get around the fog. Maybe that's what we want to bring in again. Maybe we just go back to the pre-board and don't even worry about it. What's the worst that can happen? I do kind of like the Tidball though. Just as a value. I don't know how to move my microphone to itch my ear. Alright, well, we have some of our best cards against the mill, but man, look at this. Another two-lander, nothing to put in. I mean, we're going to have to mulligan, and it makes me sad. Okay, so this is better. 1, 2, 3. This is a plains, that's a plains. We have 2 Grim Initiates. Do we dare put a land to the bottom? I think with the 4 drop in our hand, man, it hurts though. We really, I mean, we just need everything. We don't want to put anything to the bottom. Alright, we're gonna try to be more disciplined in our gameplay. See if our opponent mulls. Yeah, we're going to 6 too. Alright, well, we're gonna try to be more disciplined and trust in the magic gods. If we draw into a land, that means we're getting to Butcher of the Horde, hasty on turn 4. If we draw into something, as long as it's not a 4-drop, we can cast anything in our deck if we don't draw into lands. And I think that's the upside of keeping the 3-lander and putting the Grim Initiate to the bottom. Whereas if we had put the land to the bottom and started to draw into our Fables, we'd be very sad. So we need lands and spells still, but we can take a couple turns to draw some creatures. That'd be sweet. I mean, it's laughable. It is laughable. I mean, we may be happy to have that later, but right now it's laughable. Like, of all the draws, right? The one draw we don't want in this spot is a 4-drop after a mull to 6. Anything but a 4-drop. Even a land is fine, because we know it lets us get the Butcher. But really, now we're at that point. Fine, we'll take the out next list. It's not bad for the late game. It gives us some ways to draw out of this. But now we want a land or anything but a 4-drop. Really, anything but a 4-drop would be acceptable. And that's making me making the decision to keep that 3rd land and not put it to the bottom that much better. We'll probably draw another Butcher or something. It's almost like I should go buy a lottery ticket. I mean, here's the thing though, like, If we draw an untapped land next turn, this is all okay, right? Butcher, haste it up. Next turn, Butcher, haste it up. And they might hot fog us, but you can only have so many fog effects. Or we just take it slow and go Ob Nixilis. And they're missing land too. And we draw. God. It's really hard not to start swearing right now. Our opponent's missing land. They mulligans. They're suffering more than we are, but man. A tap land off the top. Thank you, deck. Appreciate that. But hey, if our opponent keeps missing land drops, they might have all the fogs in the world and not be able to dig out of it. And they're missing blue, so they're in trouble if they don't make a land drop. Looks like they might be missing it. Ugh, it's bad for them. So no more complaining from me after what we've drawn. Yeah, I think we just start the beats and make them fog us. Impact trimmers. I mean, the more I'm glad I didn't cut it without seeing it in action because I love it. It's so synergistic with what we're trying to do. The pinging. Get to chip it in for that 1 damage. Talk about the slow of all slow. We're on turn 5. They miss land drops. See if they have the fog. It looks like they do. How many fogs though? Fog number 1. That's the thing. I mean, we are uniquely positioned, and compared to a lot of decks, to not care about fogs. But then our draw is exactly what fog wants to see as far as effectiveness, right? We have a very aggressive hand that doesn't have that draining. It's just straight up attacking. But our poor opponent's missing land, and they probably play a ton of lands too in their heavy land deck. I kind of just want to get this Ob Nixilis online. We are lucky in the sense that our opponent is not doing anything. Maybe we hit a land ourselves off this Impact Trimmers trigger or Ob Nixilis trigger thanks to Impact Triggers. Or I can't even talk. The Impact Trigger. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna complain, but glad we're seeing that in exile and not drawing it. I was trying to say maybe we'll see a land off of the Ob Nixilis trigger. They just can't find it. I mean, if they have the fog. This has been another edition of Pioneer Curious. Thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles. If you haven't already, check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, where you can read about my various commander decks, watch my modern brews in action, read the articles and watch the gameplay from my Pioneer decks, and read my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, that I'm publishing serially. If you like the content, please click that subscribe button on YouTube. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.